ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
North have toppled the likes of Fnatic in the opening map of the night here for the ESL Pro League Season 8, match day number 10, and we have gone somewhat of the distance, at least, if you're the likes of Fnatic. You definitely don't want to start your night off that way, because it does look like Voldemort is back.
Yeah, so look at this game, right? It was relatively close if you look at the scoreline. It looks like one that, you know, there was actually a decent fight put up. It was more the second half is where Fnatic were battling back into this one. The fact is, in that first half, Cadian, with the two back-to-back 1vx situations that he was able to pull off, is the difference maker for me.
Right.
If he had lost either of those rounds, the money was probably going to be broken at that point, and what you would have seen happening was Fnatic grabbing a few more, especially on that T side. Unfortunately, Twist, I talked about him being an impact player. He got off to a very slow start. The first two kills that he was able to garner throughout this entire match were while he was saving an AK and T spawn. So you have to think about this. A slow start from Twist, the fact that they lost those two 1vx situations to Cadian, which could have flipped the economy on its head and really changed the scope of that first half. You factor all that in. That's why we're only seeing Fnatic with 4 rounds on the first half, the T side. And then we flick on over. You can see the fight they were putting up. They're doing a fantastic job. There were some pivot rounds, some close rounds, some 1v... There was the Twist 1v2 situation where the time actually helped him. So they flipped the script, that's for sure. But I think, you know, the first half is where Fnatic let themselves down. Yeah,
and if you're Cadian on this map, you've definitely done a big presence here with the AWP. The big green has come out in a big way for Cadian. And in fact, I believe it is 18 of his kills were from the AWP. He had 23 total, but ultimately, that's a ton of damage to be putting down range with AWP. It's showing that you can, in fact, stop your opposition there and perhaps even start to run away with it.
Yeah, he was finding a lot of impact with that gun. I think it's important on a map like Dust 2. We tell this point all the time, but this is one where you can have a double op set up very easily, right? This is one which you can have one over towards that B bomb site on the CT side, one over towards A, playing that car position. But just for him to be able to step up here, and these guys are still like getting into the rhythm. They played 41 maps together as a team, right? This has been in a very quick succession. So to see these guys, you know, constantly learning, constantly adapting, constantly evolving, it is going to be a work in progress. And I hate to say that, but from both of these teams, actually, that's going to be the storyline for at least, I would say, the next month, until they get to an offline environment where we can see them go toe-to-toe against the world's best.
If you're Brolin, that's not necessarily the shots you want to be making right here.
It's okay, as long as you win the round.
But in that case, they definitely just got dumpstered on. But either way, yes, Fnatic have fallen 16-11 on the first map, the opening map of the night. That does put Dust 2 in the books.
Well, speaking of books, I know we're talking about Dust 2. If you were not watching that secondary stream, Trace, which some people would be, some people wouldn't be, Heroic versus the likes of Na'Vi were going down on Dust 2 as well, simultaneously, and Na'Vi were able to take that one 16-9. So that's a good victory for Simple and the boys to kick off the night. They're also moving on to train for map number 2. So, pretty nice, bit of symmetry.
Yeah, a little bit of symmetry. But everybody likes it when things are symmetrical, Chad. People like find other people attractive based on the symmetry of their face. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, there's something about having the perfect balance on both sides, which I don't think anyone has that.
No, I think that'd be impossible.
Well, I think it's more of a testament to if you have a symmetrical face, that must mean that you're symmetrical all the way through, right?
What compliments do you get from the makeup artists?
I have soft skin, apparently, of my face.
I have long lashes.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool, Chad. Do they curl them for you?
No, they don't need to.
You're looking a little sprightly today. Kind of like the numbers in front of you. Yes, Balde coming out in a huge way here. 26 and 14, 102 ADR. And Cadian not far behind him with 86. But Gade not necessarily having to show up in a huge way here. And I want to say luckily so for his case. You know, he did have strong teammates here to kind of pick up his slack when we look at the numbers. But for what it's worth, North had the number of Fnatic.
Yeah, I like their CT side approach. I think the fact that at one point I did see the likes of AZ, Kirby, and Volder all over towards that A bomb site, and Cadian was playing middle with the AWP. I like the fact that you can move it up and mix it around. Certain teams, when they run the double AWP setup, they're having someone who's not as proficient. So like AZ can do the secondary AWP, and he's had fantastic results with it on a map like Train. But let's say we're talking about a team that doesn't have a competent second AWPer. Don't pick it up out of necessity. Just have your AWPer move around a lot more and have
Right.
a lot of dynamic setups where the rifles can actually supplement the fact that they aren't dealing with the big green there to protect them, to be that guardian angel in that position. So all in all, I think Dust 2 has to be a wrap. We could probably put a bow on this one, put it under the Christmas tree.
Let's put it, and I don't think anyone's going to be wanting this gift of the North that we currently have, because right now they're sitting pretty going into our second map of Train, where in which we will see the likes of them and Fnatic squaring off again. And I guess, Chad, could this be a different story?
Look, we're going to break down some numbers here, Trace, because I know you love them. Now, obviously, we have seen on the side of Fnatic only 13 maps, or it might be 14 now, played in total, right? They played Train twice. They've lost it twice. They lost it 16-4 to Australis and 16-5 to Big in the Pro League. So that's not good at all. That's not positive signs for these guys. We do know JW and Twist on the double op setup for them can be pretty good, but this is maybe one of the maps towards the bottom of their pool because they've been trying to play everything early. They've been trying to get their hands on all different maps, trying to suss it out. So you're expecting these guys to take some big losses considering the small amount of practice. Now, tee that up with what North have done. They played 41 maps, 11 of which have been Train. Train being their best map. They've won it 9 times and lost it only twice. And if we look at those losses, it was to NIP in the Pro League, and the other loss was on LAN to NRG, another very proficient Train team. The rest of them have been victories over the likes of Epsilon, Optic, Heroic, Big, Ago, Hellraiser's Gambit. They beat Imperial on LAN. They even beat Na'Vi in overtime during the Pro League itself. So these guys on Train, very proficient. You will see the likes of Gade going aggressive T-mid, Kirby going aggressive Ivy, those kind of things.
Perhaps we back up a little bit from the inner workings of Train and the inner Train yard itself. How about we talk a little bit about the positioning that these teams find themselves in this season so far? Because if these statistics are right that I have, Fnatic are sitting number 12 with 12 points, ironically, whereas North finding themselves with 30 points.
Yeah.
And I believe that there's probably a deficit of games played on the side of North. However, this is two polar ends of the spectrum here when we look at the standings.
Yeah, matches played is really going to factor into this, but more importantly than the amount of matches played, it's who they've actually faced, right? What you want to know is the remainder of the game. So just to build on this point that you were talking about with Fnatic, I'm going to bust up their games to finish the season, Trace, just so we can see if they're going to have an easier time. Now, they have to play Hellraisers, Ninjas in Pajamas, Windigo, Mouse Sports, Ago, and Space Soldiers, or X-Space Soldiers, to round out the season. There's a couple of teams there which you could see them getting 2-0s against, the likes of Windigo and Ago. They're not just, they're not bad teams, but they're definitely not teams who are considered the world beaters, right? So Fnatic have good opportunities there to grab some 2-0s.
And their Swedish counterparts there at the very bottom, too. So it's a rough time to be a Swedish Counter-Strike player.
Yeah.
I would say that that's unfortunately the way this goes. And we are, in fact, waiting to get into Train. Might want to ping at AZ.
Yeah, maybe he's rebuilding his router, or maybe he's getting a sandwich.
Yeah.
He's restarting Steam. That's a good idea. It's always a good idea.
That's a good idea, unless you're Forsaken.
What's the thing you did? You had an error the other day in Steam.
Yeah, it was really strange. In fact, I had logged onto another computer with my Steam account, and then when I went to log on here, I got an error that said something about VAC, this, that, and the other. And already, my toes were curling. My palms were sweaty. I'm not a cheater. I don't cheat. I don't condone it. But you never know what happens when you log in on a public computer.
How do you feel about this? Because we were just looking at Fnatic's run to finish off the season. North, after tonight, will only have 4 matchups left. They will have to take on Mouse Spots, X-Space Soldiers, Astralis, bit of a Danish rivalry right there, and Windigo will be their last game played, which I believe will be on the 15th of November, or the 14th, whichever one is the Thursday. That'll be the last day of play where everybody plays simultaneously. That's so we don't have, anybody... everybody's
sandbagging.
Exactly, right? That's a good term for it. I was going to say being tool bags, but yeah, I think sandbagging is probably a better way to put it.
We're actually going to be seeing later on, it looks like a little bit of heroic Mouse going into phase. And I guess we're still here on Train between Fnatic and North.
Yeah, I can give you a couple more of those little win conditions, or at least things to look out for. Gade does like to play aggressive towards team middle, like I already highlighted, and Kirby over towards Ivy. But with this aggression, it's something that you can potentially take advantage of if you are Fnatic, because they're doing it relatively individually, right? They're not doing it with flashes and smokes in tow and a teammate they're ready to trade. It seems to be when they feel right. I was also very critical of one of the decisions they made when they were playing Na'Vi on this map, is they had a bonus round. They saved smoked 4 SMGs across from the earlier stages. And when they went into that bonus round, instead of doing something as a team, they just went to individual places doing exactly what I said. Close-up Pop Dog with a UMP, aggressive Ivy. Instead of doing something where you can actually guarantee yourself trade potential, you know, you could have 4 players push inside the low ramp. You could play a very aggressive setup where you're sending numbers using like a smoke and flash routine. Maybe these are the additions that North needs to be adding to their map pool, and that's something that I'm going to be looking for if they're making sure they have really good mid-round or at least off the starter round ideas for these bonus rounds, because I think we're going to be seeing more of them in Counter-Strike, especially now with the money change, and you can get the AKs up on the third round instead of that second. Well,
you add a little bit of money change in there in combination with some roster changes, this, there, and the other, and we've talked about how this is a new look North, and it has to be, right? So MSL out, KDN in, and how do they start to bring a new map pull forward and perhaps even reinvigorate some of these players who've been playing underneath MSL for so long?
Yeah, and it's mainly just, I think, the mental reset, because I've touched on this time and time again. I think MSL is a fantastic in-game leader. I just think that after so many situations where they were unable to get across the line, where things didn't work out, maybe a certain amount of arguments, it always builds up. Unless that's the in-game leader you love and you're going to commit to them, you're going to put a ring on their finger, you might want to change them out every now and again. Keep your love life fresh.
Chad, I want to ask you, what team's fingers are you putting a ring on as we go into train? Because we do have just a few seconds here. We're going to be kicking off Fnatic in North.
I think that Fnatic are just constantly evolving in front of us right now, but North have been too good on this map in recent times. Like I said, currently played it 11 times. They're 9-2 record at the moment. That's a pretty good record considering their opponents. Everything that I've seen from them is positive. Just a couple of bits and pieces I'd like to see them tighten up, whereas Fnatic are still proving themselves. So I have to go with North in this one.
And I think that makes the absolute most sense. Kind of like the next show that we're going to be tuning into here, the Harry and Hugo show, as they take us into train and show us how it's done. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you very much, Trace. Yes, you know, we're over the moon. We're feeling good. Hugo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Harry. You know I'm always doing great. I love Train, one of my favourite maps in the map pool. So yeah, this is always going to be enjoyable.
It's pretty good. And if you love Train, then you must love North, because they love playing this map.
You know I love North. You know I love a couple of Danes, a couple of Swedes, all mixed together in one server with us two. I mean, this is just a recipe for success, Harry, but who's going to find success? That's the question as we head into this map. Of course, North are a map up after taking Dust 2 16-11. But will they 2-0 the series tonight, Harry? Will they keep their top spot in the league, as they are currently in that finals position? Fnatic up for relegation if they don't improve, and it needs to happen here and now.
Yes, indeed. And as you say, they've got the recipe for success. You know, they've preheated the oven to 220 degrees centigrade. We don't use Fahrenheit over here. That's a pretend measuring system. And well, here we go. North setting up outside of the A-bomb site. They've got the utility, Hugo. They've got the ingredients to succeed. Milk, eggs, flour.
In the oven for 45
chili
minutes.
powder. I don't know what they're making at this point.
Something disgusting.
Some sort of chili pastry, perhaps. But let's see if this site take is a little bit more tempting than whatever food I just described. Crim's going to be keeping an eye on Main and Pop Dog. It's a pretty big role that he's in right now. He's going to have players coming his way. Crims hops on down into the sandwich. Get up close. And Crims able to drop the first man. Now he's here alone. Instantly traded by Kirby. They know where he is, and now we're going to pick that up. So we're back into a 4-on-4. These wall of smokes have boxed Brolin into the bomb site, but rotations coming in. Now the rest of Fnatic here. And this is a 4-on-4 site take from the North boys. They've expended all their utility and gotten very little for it. Now it is just AZ and Kirby left up, trying to keep the dream alive for North. And they will get put down.
Yeah, that slowdown of pace after finding the trade really enabled Fnatic to rotate players back into the bomb site, get that connector boost up, get a man in CT spawn as well, just to make things even better. And North, as you said, walking into a very heavy defense from Fnatic. No shots hit and good pistol round taken, of course. That's exactly what Fnatic need coming into this map. The lead, the start. Considering they are a map down in this one already. North are going to be forcing the issue in the second round. Interestingly enough, you don't always see this on the T side, but knowing how effective pistols can be on train, typically towards that B bomb site. However, they have a bit of a different idea. JW dropping Valdi up on long. There's going to be an Ivy split coming out from the North boys. JW pressured. With the smoke down, Crims is going to get wrapped by Kirby, who actually drops him. Doesn't pick up the FAMAS, but that's accessible for North, who have taken control of the spawn. JW's been pushed back because he's low, and they can get rid of him from this position. It's another 2-for-1. Twist doing great work here from the connector, and AZ's going to be all that stands now for North. As Twist has made this one happen for Fnatic. Again, a standout player in the previous map coming back into his own here in number 2. And there's nothing Easy can do.
Yeah, that attempt there from North is not going to work out for them. Now they have to take one more eco as a result, so we're going to be seeing the buy in round number 4. Something we're not too used to seeing from any team on the T side since these changes, but I'm a big fan of, you know, trying to throw a cheeky investment in. Easy, able to sit just above the flames. That's not really going to matter. Everyone else is dead. And as good as AZ is, you're asking far too much of him here. A 1v5 with a Glock, it would be pretty cool if he did it, but even then, I think I'd be more disgusted that Fnatic let that happen. So they did. Yeah. They keep 5 alive, and it's going to be 3-0 lead here for the Swedes. But now the buy comes in, and as a result, we're going for that force, Hugo. You can see Cadian, he's going to get the AWP out early on here for the side of Fnatic. JW, going to be able to invest in one as well. Sorry, he's going to get it for North. He'll be able to invest in one on Fnatic. So it's going to be AWPs either side. And already a pause called in. I'm curious if this is a tactical. No, it's a technical. And so now, as we have a nice little early technical pause, Hugo, have you learned anything interesting today? We like to share little knowledge bombs.
Yeah, we were doing some research from Liechtenstein earlier.
Yeah, it's just randomly.
Yeah, the Swiss really accidentally...
Liechtensteining it up.
Yeah, we love a bit of Liechtenstein. Because, you know, we're looking at all the countries that we have here in the Pro League, and then Liechtenstein not being one of them. We need more CS players from Liechtenstein here. But they actually got invaded by Switzerland at one point, and Switzerland apologized because they actually got lost in the rain, and like 170 men stormed Liechtenstein, and they didn't even know. Liechtenstein like said, oh, well, we didn't realize you invaded us, and they were okay with it. Everyone was all right at the end, but you know who's not all right? Fnatic, because they're getting pressured on this outer bomb site North. They're invading them like it's Liechtenstein, but they've brought real guns and real ammo. Twist has already fired a couple of bullets into Gade, and he's now going to be down to 17 points of health. Cadian getting picked off, so losing that AWP, and Roland keeps his aggressive position. JW also finding more and more damage by the second. Fnatic are off to a fantastic start in this rifle round, and Kiebi, well, he will creep through the smoke. JW is poised and ready, and AZ's all that remains, yet to get a kill. And this is not going to be a round where that changes. 3 kills for JW and 4 alive for Fnatic.
Man, I can't help but think about that Liechtenstein story. And I'm just like, you know, they're very lucky the Swiss weren't more opportunistic. Like, yeah,
you always talk about this. You always talk about how countries don't ruin other countries enough.
No, well, okay, no. I just mean, like, you know, you've already, that's it, you're committed at that point,
yeah,
right?
Like,
but...
well, the problem was the Swiss didn't have any ammo. That's why I made that joke in that round.
Oh, right.
The Swiss, yeah, they invaded with guns, but they had no ammo in their guns, which seems a bit short-sighted.
I don't wait, but it wasn't intentional.
I mean, 170 Swiss army people is enough to overtake the 30,000 population of Liechtenstein, I'm sure. Liechtenstein don't actually have an army, Harry. That's the problem. And neither do North right now. They're getting picked apart by Crims.
They are. And Valdet pushing on forward. Does manage to drop Brolin, so he's going to be alive now with Cadian into this 2-on-3. There's still a chance here for North. Cadian drops Twist in the back line, and now Crims has to try and find this trade. The only issue is that they don't know that he's here. Now he's going to give up his position. Now they know. They know the whereabouts of Crims, and they're going to the fullest extent that they can try and deal with this man in the back line. Cadian's been able to retrieve an AWP. Don't know where he got that from, but he's pulled one out. Now wrapping back down here towards Ivy. Gonna try and meet back up with Valdet, perhaps. Just existed Crims left alive.
And this setup is so boxed in for Fnatic as well. North are going to reunite together as Cadian gets himself up Ivy, but the problem is the time. They might have to stick that bomb plant, and as we know, if you're Fnatic, you can shoot underneath that train and stop the bomb from going down. Cadian isn't on full HP. They're going to hear this. They're going to be fully aware. The bomb plant coming through. Let's see if Exist goes for it. No, Crims has already taken his teammate. They know there's a man on the site, and they've got him dead to rights. Exist jumps up, and that'll be the round for Fnatic. Nice bounce back in that 2v2 North. They were in a horrible situation. They made their best out of a bad one, but they're not going to be able to convert the round. It's 5-0 for Fnatic. North again, at least have the money here, but Fnatic, quite the same case. AWPs are plenty, 2 of them on the CT side. North going to call it a tactical pause. I was wondering, they were taking a while to buy. And of course, they're going to have a buy here. They're going to have the option for the AWP, which I imagine they'll go for. But what have they got in the strat book, Harry? That's the question. What does Ave bring into this round? Because we're going to need something different from North. It's not been working out currently.
Yeah, and you know, we think about North on this map. Usually it's such a good one for them, right? That's the perhaps the strangest part about all of this. I was expecting a much more dominant start to this game from the Danes. Thus far, they have looked a little bit lackluster, to say the least. Heading out into round number 6, Hugo, maybe they're going to look to try and surprise us. They've been getting these rounds close. They've been keeping it down to the old wire. They've gone in with the buy here. Cadian back on the AWP. Needs to start to roll back to that performance that we saw from him on Dust 2. He looked fantastic there, and I thought for sure he was going to continue that onto what is, you know, in my opinion, the map that North are really trying to make a bit of a staple. Is their train. They love playing it. They've played it a whole bunch. Issue right now is you know, you've got Twist going off on the side of Fnatic. He's top of the board, 8 and 1, 120 ADR, 115 ADR on Brolin. 120 ADR for JW. You know, these 3 players going out of their mind. And now you look at Crims, who's going a little bit aggressive here. He's in the back line, but Kirby has already dispatched a Brolin. The A bomb site going to get cracked wide open here. The bomb now looks to go down, and Kirby going to be the man to deliver it. Crims does give up his flank maybe a little bit sooner than you would have liked, as now Valde repositions and does dispatch over the flanking Crims. Suddenly exists Twist, the JW. They're the players in the hot seat. 3v4. They have money to buy into the next round. They don't have to. Don't have to stay alive here.
This could be retakeable though.
Yeah.
Problem is, that's going to make things impossible. Valdi's come for the late Ivy lurk. He's so annoying. JW's going to realize that too late. Now Twist, while he will be able to get this trade. Oh, there it is. No time left here for Fnatic. I think this man's going to go down with the bomb. Gade, no, he's going to go down to the AWP instead. 3 kills from Twist. Nice round, but North finally getting there first on the seaside, Harry. It was a long time coming, but they're here. Are they here to stay, though? Losing 4 players is going to be a bit of a problem for their money. Kiebi can drop over. There's no way there's a chance for the AWP here for North. And Fnatic, they should only have 1. Unless they rebuy it, because if we remember, JW did get picked up on Ivy that round, but no, they'll rebuy it, they'll be fine. 2 AWPs here for Fnatic, and a CZ for KD, and that's not quite the weapon you want to fight back.
Most definitely not. This is one of these situations where North, they might have won the round, but their buy still pales in comparison to that of Fnatic. Good thing is both teams are economy at the breaking point. This could be a means getting back into this game for the North side. We are barreling on in towards this A bomb site. Brolin is good for 1, but Valdet looking to try and haul North back into this round. Joined now by Kirby. Twist top of the board, currently sits for Fnatic. He's 11 and 1. Not quite able to deny that bomb plant, not quite able to find the equalizer, and then actually going to get picked off through the smoke to boot. JW and Exist left up. If these 2 save, we can see a buy in the next round for Fnatic. 2 on 3, while it might be tempting, they're going to take a peek here. They're going to see what they can find, and as they don't find anything, maybe now we start to see them edge away. They're still looking reasonably committed, but now JW brought down to his knees. They're trying to keep the damage up. At least Exist has been spotted, and he will get dispatched. Valde just going on a tear. North find their second round, and JW able to hold onto the AWP for now.
Yeah, it's more a case of Fnatic just trying to take as many guns away as they can. 1 HP on JW, but almost getting flanked there. Will survive with his gun. And yeah, that's an interesting one for Fnatic, because they know they can get damage from North, right, and take some weapons away, keep their economy low. But it's not like Fnatic really had the money themselves to play that aggressively in the post plant. If you're not committed to going for it and you've barely got any money, why commit? And now look at it as a result. Fnatic, yeah, they got a buy, but it's far from perfect. Famas Bit of utility lacking, only a couple of kits. It'd be enough to get the job done, but they definitely would have wanted more. Twist, nice shot, as you said. He's been so good this game, and he's going to continue that performance. 13-2 right now on the side of Fnatic. His team falling apart around him, but he's still getting a couple of kills on that B bomb site. North going to reroute back into the yard. And there is going to be Crims up close here to at least call out the fact that North are committed, but will he be able to get anything from it? That's one. And the second from Crims. Great work here in the sandwich, and North are getting a bite taken out of them. Kiebi going to try and pull out this clutch. Crims is on the angle. The flashbang is good. He won't move in through it because there's a smoke in the sandwich, but Kiebi's still giving away his position. Crims comes up above, and Kiebi has no idea. 6 rounds of Fnatic. Fantastic work from Crims and Twist. And the money broken for North at a very unfortunate time.
Well, now a pause called on it. Going to be from the North camp. You know, they're able to go to win a few rounds in a row, but then Fnatic instantly starting to get back into this now. You got to be thinking about how good this map rather has been for the North squad. Fnatic currently doing a decent job of quelling the resistance early on. You think about the games that we've seen Fnatic have on this map as of late. They recently lost to Big on it. 5-16 loss there. We also saw them. I'm trying to think. There was a game that we watched them play. That's it. It was Astralis. They got just wrecked on this map, 16-4. So you know they've made some changes. They've switched things up, and obviously Berlin's been this roster. I'm not going to say a long while now, but you know a few more days at least from the rounds when we first saw them play. Things coming together a bit more now that they've had the youngster get a bit more used to playing in this squad. JW, he didn't see that run boost. I don't think.
He did. He just didn't react.
Well,
you can't react to that. You just got to keep aware. He definitely saw it. That's why he's got his eyes peeled on this right angle. Valde. Not going to walk into it. It's a bit of a risk double scoping, so JW will fall back and keep his eyes elsewhere. Very methodical. But North really taking their time. They're hoping that Fnatic over-aggress. Crims is taking a bit of a risk sitting up on top of this train because it leaves him open to the pop dog, but actually luckily Brolin's there, so Fnatic have that down on lock. JW with some utility down Ivy, but one smoke from North and they expend a Molotov and a nade from JW. That's a good trade. And JW falls back passive as well as North continue to smoke off Ivy and close the gap bit by bit.
Biggest issue with JW getting forced off now is you can see the effect this has had onto Crims. He's had to get down from atop that train and stop watching main. As a result, now turns his attention to the Ivy position and is immediately going to get traded there by Valde AZ. Brought down low, currently trapped in main. It was Twist to do the damage. Continuing to push on in and quick flick onto Valde. Valde being the real kind of point that has been hitting this home for North, and suddenly AZ left in a 1v4, Deagle in hand, and they know exactly where he is. Twist is there to cement the round for Fnatic, and this is a very impressive CT side right now from the Swedes. Important thing to note though, whenever I do think of North on this map, slow starts feel like a bit of a characteristic almost for them. You know, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah.
And there's still very much a way for North back into this game.
But it won't be in this round, Harry. This is the full eco. The cleanup for Fnatic can be coming through in this round. JW does have the AWP on Ivy, and that's very open to North. Of course, they have the manpower to just run down here, and JW can only get so many kills. Smoke is there. Nice call from JW. Throws the AWP behind him, so they can't pick it up if they take him down, and they certainly will. After one frag from him, Roland lines up a couple as well, and that's actually really smart from JW.
Yeah, I love that he does stuff like that. Like, you know, he's always the guy you see kind of doing... It's just annoying things like that, but you know, very, very smart as well.
Cadian also killed his teammate in that round, so no money for him in terms of kill money. And that's actually going to make a big difference because he's on $4,000. Obviously, he wouldn't been able to buy up the AWP anyway, but actually, you lose $300, so he would have had
$4,300.
No, because yeah, I guess actually, yeah. I was thinking that he would have got a kill on the enemy instead, but ignore me. 8-2 here. No AWP again for North, but they've won these rounds before, or well, they won a round similar to this before. They've only won a couple though this map, and Fnatic have really made a statement here on Train, push down Ivy. This could be well timed. KD is throwing utility. They could go above this. They could go ahead of this. The Molotov's burning JW, but KD won't hear it, and that's a kill for JW coming straight through. Exist boosted up as well over this smoke and North. If they go around this corner, they are going into their eventual death, but the miss spray from Exist, that's going to cost them something, and it will be his life with the trade coming through for AZ.
Yeah, North, they haven't had many situations like this. They're very, very keen to try and make something happen off the back of it. They throw in all this utility, and that's done a great job of drawing Fnatic in. They've fallen for this hook, line, and sinker, as now Gade continuing this relentless aggression in towards the A bomb site. But keep your eye on Crims. He's all the way in the back line of North. Valdez here and keeping an eye on it is very aware that Crims has been trying this Ivy aggression, and with JW finding that kill earlier on down at the base of Ivy, he's certainly going to look to try and keep up appearances over here in main. Twist clearing out Ivy. W up close, going to fall prey to Kierby. I think he actually did leg him there. So good shot from JW, but not good enough ultimately.
Yeah, this round is the entire example of close but no cigar. Like, look at the health of North. Ridiculous that they're actually going to win it with 3 players on 15 HP or lower. And Valdi might even kill Twist here, because it's very common to save an AWP down on Ivy due to the long sight lines you have. So Valdi, he's on the other side. Luckily enough, Twist is ready for it. 7 HP the difference as well. And North, I'll get away with that round. That's good enough.
This is what we mean by there's still very much ways back into this game for the North squad. You can see you're going to be able to get a buy-in if you're Fnatic. You managed to get this one, but lose this one. And suddenly, you know, you're back into the doldrums of a very, very weak economy. And, you know, you see these scorelines, right? Teams being up 8-2, but we know better than anyone, Hugo, from watching an awful lot of Counter-Strike, how very, very quickly that can turn around and teams can suddenly field a good scoreline. You know, North, if they manage 5 rounds, suddenly, you know, that's a pretty decent score. That's only 2 away. And if they pick this one up, there's an eco in the next with Fnatic, you're straight back into a decent half.
Yeah, case in point was that last map as well, where Fnatic were down 11-4, but still got the first 5 rounds of the half without too much of a problem. They had the perfect opportunities to still be in that game, even though it was a pretty dominant half. And Train is a map where we're more used to dominant halves than that of Dust, right? An 11-4 on this wouldn't be too crazy. Although North hoping for more than that. And I'd be expecting more as well, but we're starting to reach the end of the half, and with only 3 more rounds left to play. No, 4 rounds, including this one. This is far from concluded. Brolin's going to have this quick connector, quick Ivy flank through the ladder. No one's watching it right now for North. Gade is the last person through this box halls, and we're going to be seeing North get ready for this execute. Rotation from Twist just in time, and he's got the AWP here. Will be smoked off down the ramp, but a Molotov, well placed, will shut North down for a few more seconds. No way they can push through that. They've got to wait, and that Molotov finally fading at the 30-second mark, and here comes the push.
Important thing to know though, Fnatic, they fell for this fake in the previous round, so they almost like a bit hesitant to rotate players over. It's Brolin's position now in the back that's given them the confidence to do it. They've quickly assembled this boost. Brolin does get shut down at Twist. As a result, has to find something, but Kierby's discovered the boost first, and he's going to take the double. Locking in the round for North, and now, yeah, we're back to this situation, Hugo, 4-8. Mentioned how North are a team that kind of start to build into their training a little bit, a little bit later on in the game. It certainly looks to be the case now, because there's still a chance at an 8-7 half here for the North squad. Especially
with Fnatic on eco now. They've been broken. I love that position from AZ in the previous round. I've never seen anyone use that to actually catch out the Pop Dog flank, but they boosted him on top of that little box there in the box halls. So nice off angle. No way Brolin expects that. And in this round, we should be seeing a mop-up, but Exist wants to make it costly. 1 kill with a pistol. Kierby and Gay going to start to piece things together here for North. Nice shot from Twist. Man, this guy is unstoppable right now. 17-4, finally going to be dropped there in this round, and JW, a similar story. That's not a round where we expect Fnatic to get too much in, so a couple of kills is always nice. But yeah, here comes the buy back out for Fnatic. And as you said, Harry, right? This is where North can make this 8-7, without a doubt. They're now up to 5. They win 1 rifle round. They put Fnatic on a 3-round loss bonus, 4-round loss bonus, and then boom. North, they can be back in this one. Not to say they're out at the moment.
Trades go back and forth early on to kickstart this round. North once again looking to try and find some comfort inside of this B bomb site. Head there early on. 3 players grouped up here. Gonna now look to have Kirby join the rest of these flocking Danes outside of the B bomb site. Pushing on in and Exist does spot the players down ramp. Gonna try and throw the flashes in just to hold them back and keep this bomb from going down as long as he can. That nade somehow does 2 damage. That's the sort of nade I'd be throwing. Yeah. But Exist able to go ahead and open things up. The bomb is still down for North, and this wraparound from Kirby. If Brolin gets the timing here, he's just going to miss it. He now believes the backline's clear, and Kirby almost single-handedly can tear this whole round apart. But Brolin, quick adjustment. Twist going to find another. And now blink and you'll miss it. It's Cadian left in a 1v4. That's just not happening. Fnatic going to be finding a 9th round here. Oh,
that flank from Kirby is so unlucky, right? Brolin looks away. You assume he has the flank kill from Kirby, and then because Brolin's adjusting or moving actually on that train, Kirby takes a second to adjust his aim, and we have this flick back from Brolin. Look at this. He's moving, Kirby's adjusting, and there we go. Brolin flicks back. Ridiculous. The young gun of Fnatic with a very crucial kill in that round. And while, of course, that round looked pretty easy for Fnatic, without that kill from Brolin, we might not have had the top peak from Heaven, which allowed the AWP from Twist to get a kill, and KD wouldn't have been stuck in the 1v4, and we would have had a man behind. So that was an entirely different round, thanks to that singular kill. And this is actually kind of giving us the best of both worlds, because we don't have the 8-7 half coming through, but we do have the buy from North in the final round. So both teams well equipped. The opportunity for the 9-6, which would be a pretty standard half here on train, although 10-5 is not too crazy. JW down Ivy once again. Moving into that angle, there's going to be an AWP on Cadian, but that's far, far away here in the B halls. Roland holding passive towards his pop dog instead. And actually with that Molotov, he'll move in, clear it out, make sure North haven't taken any early map control. Oh, and he makes some noise as well, but he catches the boost. They try and set up for the double drop, and Brolin going to find both kills. Cadian does respond, but at this point, the rest of his team are starting to fall like flies. 2 players left up for North, and only a minute to get this one done.
Cade does manage the first, still has a long way to go to get back into this round. And his first protocol has to be retrieving that bomb. JW going to stay over here towards A. That does mean it's Exist and Twist. To Exist to try and hold back Gade as he rounds the corner now. There is a man keeping an eye on this portion of the map, but Twist going to get beheaded. Gade, is he ready for Exist to re-peek in from the safe position? Indeed, he's not. So Fnatic will be taking a 10-5 first half here versus the North squad.
That's the half Fnatic needed coming into this map. Again, they need every single win they can get, Harry. As crazy as it may seem, we are a couple of weeks here into Pro League, and on our last broadcast day of this week, and Fnatic are in the 3rd last place. Not what we expected coming into the season. It's going to be AGO bottom of the board, NIP close by, so 2 Swedish teams up for relegation. So every win that Fnatic get right now is going to be so impactful in getting them out of this spot. Of course, some teams haven't played that many matches, and Fnatic are down the bottom of matches played. They've got 12. Well, before today at least. So they do have a lot more games to drag themselves out of this spot, but this would be a nice one to split the series, considering they're down already on Dust 2 after North took that victory, and now heading into the second half. If Fnatic find the pistol, we could be seeing this 12-5 lead very early on. Actually, to be honest, I think if North lose pistol here, they should be double ecoing, or at least forcing on the second round and ecoing 3rd, because I think you want the AWP, maybe even the double AWP, straight into your CT side here.
And I mean, that's what we've seen, you know. I would say, like, there are a few ways that this meta could go. I think that's the one that I like the most.
Yeah, on CT.
Yeah, for the CT side. Force buying 2nd, buying 4th if you lose. Especially because we've seen a more and more common trend is to just go for the pistols in that second round on the T side as well. Especially from Fnatic. They're one of the teams that love to do that. Just have JW running a PT50 armor. So you're going to have a decent chance of pulling an upset off there. Let's see though. The pistol round has to first go the way of one of these teams for that to ever play into this. And Cadian, he's given so many opportunities for success there, but he misses every single one of them. Now Kirby here to try and pick up the pieces. It might be Gade and Valde actually looking to try and get the job done. Now just Kirby and Gade, and Gade continuing this good form. Now Kirby taps down onto JW, knows exactly where he is. Oh, JW playing risky games here, my friend, and now tapping on the bomb. Kirby trying to bait the peek on out from JW. He's running. It's the mind game, and up onto the ladder. Kirby trying to chase him down. It's whack-a-mole. What's going on? What's happening in this pissed around? Kirby's getting played with, and while he does find the kill, he's not going to get the round. So JW, even in death, is the ultimate troll. Kirby going to be kicking himself now.
And this is why JW is one of my favorite players in this game. He is so entertaining to watch.
One of my favorite, you know, I mean, well, it's not one of my favorite, but like an old frag movie that I used to watch, an old CSGO frag movie, right? There's a clip, it's Guardian versus JW on this map, and it's all about, you know, the mind game of them two. It's actually really interesting, but it's really old. It was on the old iteration of Trade.
Wow.
And it was more mind games from JW there. He's so good at them.
I'm going to guess those odds aren't right.
Yes, indeed.
If they are, you're about to make a hell of a lot of money over on Betway. So go find out. Go, maybe guys, if you go really, really quick, you can make a ridiculous amount of money. Who knows? I cannot verify that.
They are the wonderful folks over at Betway, and they're looking to give back, apparently. But this round, JW and Exist open things up. Valde, AZ, and Kajurabi.
Kajurabi,
son of Jamiroquai. He's looking to go deeper underground over here towards his B-bomb site. There you go, mate. It's a Jamiroquai song.
Okay. I thought that was a... No, don't worry.
You ever listen to Jamiroquai?
I think my dad used to play a couple of Jamiroquai tunes back in the day, but I couldn't name any.
That's fine, yeah. No, it's all good.
What's your favourite Jamiroquai song?
Just the one I said, right? That's really like one of the...
The only one you know?
I mean, there's a few others. We can look it up.
He says as he Googles.
Yeah, obviously. No one just instantly recalls everything here. I'm not
I don't know, dude.
I'm not an encyclopedia.
Harry, if I asked you for 70 fun facts about Denmark, you would be able to hit me with quite a few. I'm sure. Do you want to hit me with a fun fact about Denmark?
No, I most certainly do not.
Ah, well...
Why don't you hit us up with one? You've been doing the research here.
You really throw me on the spot, Harry.
Oh, but it was fine when you did it to me.
Yeah, well, you said you know everything about everything there.
Oh, did you know this? Here we go.
I didn't.
A fact about Jamiroquai.
Fun fact.
They hold 2 Guinness World Records, including the fastest ever performance on an aeroplane. What does that even mean? That's such a niche record anyway. Yeah, that just makes him sound like a bit of a... like a band of the night.
And what's that other Guinness World Record?
I don't know, it doesn't say. That's the only one it feels like it's relevant
enough. The fastest performance on an aeroplane. Well, Brolin, he has the fastest performance out to this A bomb site. Look at this push. Diving in through T-Con. 1-for-1 trade coming straight through as AZ keeps it in check. And of course, Fnatic is still running a lot of Galil, so that's why we have this AK poised and ready to try and open things up. Valde closing it down. And with these smokes still in position, Fnatic are actually creeping around. Twister's gone all the way up through this Olaf position, and he's getting wrapped by Kirby. Only one more kill coming through for Fnatic after that initial pick, and North are going to be able to bounce back in that round. They give Fnatic a couple, but now North are into the swing of things with their rifles, Harry. Not going for that double eco, but it doesn't seem to matter, because now they've got the AWP anyway on KD, and still kept over from that previous. 12-6 here. Fnatic only running that bonus in the previous round, so now they've actually got full AKs, but lacking on the utility. However, again, such a round lead that this is a really good situation to buy for Fnatic, because they can get this reset to North and find 13. Nice nade. That would chunk JW down to 50 HP. Oh, Gate's not done with one. Oh. JW, you're in a hot water situation, or a hot fire. Fire not typically known to be too cold anyway. Fnatic have crept round Ivy in the meantime. And a bit of aggression down on B from Cadian. He's peeked out on B upper and taken that frag to Brolin. So nice early kill taken by North. And Kiev even spraying through the smoke for a second. There's one man down on Ivy, but JW's downing main. And one by one, Fnatic, they're pugging this round, Harry, and it's not going too well.
Yeah, I mean, what's a pug to a Great Dane? Did you know Great Danes are actually bred in Germany initially?
Really?
Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can see these Great Danes channel their inner efficiency. They certainly have in this round, keeping 5 alive. Crims. Looking to try and do damage at the very least. And well, he's not going to find anything just yet. No one actually keeping an eye. Oh, just as I say it. Now there is a man. There's a pair of beady eyes. They're Kirby's. He's going to shut down that round for Fnatic. It's back to the drawing board here for the Swedes. And a pause called on in. Likely going to be from the Fnatic camp, and indeed it is. Their first tactical used thus far in this matchup. Things were looking like plain sailing, Hugo. But now that's all been called into question. You alright, mate?
I'm doing great, Harry. I'm just, I'm letting the ominous...
Ominous?
Omnious, what's the word?
Ominous.
Ominous, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Almost nailed
I got
it.
close there, dude. Either way, I was letting the fly through happen. Twist has not slowed down. I mean, it's been, I guess it's been a fairly slow
Some
start.
say Twist holds the Guinness World Record for fastest performance on an aeroplane.
On a train, I think.
On a train, indeed.
Yeah.
Trains, planes.
And automobiles. 12 rounds to Fnatic. We've got pistols in play for the terrorists. Grims is trying to escape the map through that little door, but he's not going to be able to. Nice nade. JW is not getting lucky today, and neither is Brolin. He's going to get tagged down as well. Kirby's taking this aggressive Ivy control, but again, probably not going to hold on to it. He'll give it back. And he'll come back in for more. Good timing. He faked the wall back, and I like that, actually. He runs, and Fnatic try and chase him down, and in fact, Kirby walks into his death, gifting a gun over to JW. We'll probably see him hand that over to someone with more health. I'd like to see that. Although it does make a massive difference considering aim punch is going to wreck anyone. Twist will take that weapon. Good decision considering how well he's been playing. And if he just baits his teammates here, he might be able to get a couple of kills for Fnatic. Do some damage, take some money away from North. North had to be careful not to run into this group though. Aggression is common when you're a man down, but you can't afford to do it against 5 players who are just staying neck and neck next to each other, shoulder to shoulder. Valdi's focused on Heaven, and he's going to call for a rotate as Kaden gets into position to watch this ramp play. That's exactly what Fnatic are calling. With no utility to do it, they'll actually go up pretty steady. No, there's the peak. Nice shot from Twist. Baiting JW for the frag, exactly how he wanted. Cadian will shut him down as he walks in through the ramp, and with 30 seconds left, Fnatic are going to make their way to the bomb site. Cadian not giving them room, though. He's finding shot after shot. The cross comes in, but Cadian shuts it down, and while the bomb plant goes in for Fnatic, there's no way that Crims can win this round.
Oh, he's going to take that nade to the face, and that will be North picking up their 8th. 3 players staying alive as well, and we're seeing Cadian come to life here on the CT side. 8 to 12. And while Fnatic buying up once again, the real issue right now is Twist. While he's having an absolutely fantastic game, Hugo, no one else is having too great of a performance. And then another surprising news flash is Cadian stepping up over here on the side of North. But that's not even the weirdest bit of news you've read today, is it, Hugo?
No. What's the weirdest bit of news I read today?
I don't know. Surely you've seen some interesting stories.
Liechtenstein have not had a murder since 1997.
There we go. And Hugo, you can be the man to check. No, maybe not. But here you can rewrite history. Here is Fnatic slowing things down a bit. Yeah, but kind of excitement all the time.
Well, the thing is, Liechtenstein haven't had a confirmed murder since 1997.
Why have you become just like the
I was
hype
reading
man
up
for
on Liechtenstein. I wanted to know all about it, and I've learned a lot today.
Do you own like 50%
no,
of the shares
but one
in
night,
Liechtenstein?
one year, Liechtenstein offered up to buy the city for $70,000 a night. This is real. They offered to sell the city. You get like a full tour. You get the master key to 150 properties, and you get a special sign all over Liechtenstein. This cost 70 grand, by the way. They did this with Airbnb.
Wait,
and
really?
Snoop Dogg, yeah, I read this. Snoop Dogg tried to buy Liechtenstein for a night so he could film his rap video, but it got rejected because I imagine he would have probably tarnished Liechtenstein, which is not what we want, Harry.
It's a respectable country.
Yeah, full of respectable people.
But still, it would have been great.
I would have loved that.
70,000. That's a pretty big bit of money, though.
For a country.
Yeah, actually, that's not that much for a country, is it? But let's see. You know what? Someone else who's paying their debts right now is Fnatic up to Cadian, and he's come to reap as he's up here on top of the trade, and he is reaping the rewards. Fnatic peeking on into him. It's only Twist left alive, 1v4. Cadian shuts down absolutely everyone. Where's his performance come from? He's picked up 7 out of the 10 possible kills in the last 2 rounds.
What a gamer. If I bought Liechtenstein, I'd call it Lichen Mine.
Why?
Because it's mine.
Yeah, no, okay, that's great. Dude.
Great round from Cadian, 12-9 for Fnatic. Harry, we said that this was definitely doable for North in this second half, and they're really proving us. But the question
is, just quickly,
fine, butt in. What do you have to say?
You know, either IEM or ESL 1, whatever.
Yeah.
Liechtenstein.
I mean,
we
you wouldn't
take
even
the whole city, country.
The problem is they wouldn't have like a stadium. I doubt Liechtenstein.
The country is the stadium.
But where did the people sit?
I don't know. I haven't figured that. That's for the brain boxes at ESL to figure out.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have a talk.
We've just come up with the idea. We're the ideas men, Hugo. We don't make anything happen.
I'm trying to think of like a play on words with Liechtenstein and like a ESL event, like Liechtenstein, I like that. IEM Liechtenstein coming next year. We have pistols here for Fnatic. They're going to be giving up this round unless we see something pretty crazy, considering unless you're going for that fast B play, these pistols aren't great. However, full execute, that's perfect for Fnatic. It allows them to close the distance and get up on this bomb site. The plant can even come in. Crims, he can jump on top of Connector here and actually flank one player who's shooting all of his bullets in one smoke. AZ firing down. That bomb plant is in, but Fnatic are losing players by the second. Brolin and Twist left alive, but Twist has been a monster this game and he's grabbed himself an AK. 2 kills already found. Close towards the site as well. He's got a player in Connector, and Twist has found his 3rd. No way he's going to do this all on his own. Twist in a 2-on-1 with 4 kills to his name on this eco round from Fnatic, and Cadian looks to try and bail North out, but Brolin's done it, and Fnatic win the eco round, or more so, Twist wins the eco round. He is playing some phenomenal Counter-Strike. 28 kills and 10 deaths.
That is unbelievable. Twist is on its way to try and break the kills for the record for kills rather.
Record.
Yeah, you know. Oh, well, he is on a tear right now, and even then a timeout still called in for the Fnatic camp. They're going to look to try, I know what they're going to do here, just say to Twist, like, yeah, mate, you're doing good, keep it up, you know, yeah, you're doing great. 28 kills, that's unreal. I think the record's like 40 or something like that. Or
yeah,
maybe
I casted the highest kill count in a match pre-overtime. I casted that game. It was online match config, on the Optic overpass. CT overpass. I remember it was just ridiculous. That was a DreamHack qualifier, I think. Yeah, so I think it was like 37 or something in like one map. Something stupid.
Twist could still do it though. There's still time. There's still time for Twisty Boy to rise up through the ranks and claim that title. But let's see. Double up setup invested into here for North. Their economy is at breaking point. Fnatic, theirs isn't looking too much better though. Neither team feeling too great. Gade going to try and line up the wall bang, but it's not going to happen. The fast push from Fnatic in towards this A bomb site worked for them in the previous. Crims spearheading this charge. There's a quick boost been assembled over the top of that smoke, but Crims still good for one. He's torn Kirby apart, and now the rest of the guys have to try and trade this out. Gade will tap him down. Twist, so continuing this good form, and AZ missing that shot. They would have loved to have had it. Now a man down North with AZ kind of hung out to dry and trapped inside of this bomb site as Brolin picks up Valde. North just want to think about saving. And AZ will at least be afforded some ground. He will be allowed to back away. 14-9 now in favor of Fnatic. This has been an absolutely standout performance from Twist, but also, I mean, I'm just impressed with the Fnatic squad as a whole. Last time, you know, we've seen them play on train a few times since Brolin joined, and all their performances have been pretty underwhelming thus far. This is a great map for North, usually.
Yeah, and Brolin's playing out of his mind as well, although it's very hard to be in the shadow of someone who's donning nearly 30 kills in this map, but Brolin's second on the board with 17 and 13, or 18 now after that round. He's playing great, Harry, and it's the 2 new additions to Fnatic that are dragging them through this victory, and that's always what you love to see. No one wants a player to join a team and have a bad performance, but the fact that we've got a 16-year-old joining one of the most legendary organizations in Counter-Strike, plus Twist, who's been around the block a couple of times, and he is really owning right now. Let's see if it continues for Fnatic. 2 more rounds left for a victory here in this second map. Got Gade up in the Pop Dog. Kirby on the Ivy, B given over to Fnatic for the time being, but Cadian is going to move in with that AWP to try and defend it, and we'll definitely need that here as well, because Cadian's been the knight in shining armor here for North a lot of the time. Fnatic are looking to execute on this bomb site. Valde playing close up with an SMG, but again, Fnatic should be able to trade this kill. Real problem is going to be, can they get through this smoke? Is there going to be more utility down for North? They're starting to run out. There's a Molotov to cut them off from across to the site. Brolin won't spot Cadian jumping up on top, and Valde's still here to deny bomb plant. Gade has just dived on in with the MP5. This is getting awfully, awfully bad for Fnatic. Luckily, JW bails him out with a kill, but they're still gaining position here. Crim spots him and quickly dispatches of him, but AZ's with the second AWP, and he has not been dealt with just yet. He doesn't jump up, and luckily so, because JW's watching that angle, but now the bomb is down for Fnatic in the 2-on-2.
Yeah, North, though, they need this round. They have to either make the decision to save or go for it, and JW can get caught out here. His barrel a little too long, and Cadian going to find him as a result. Exist now trapped inside of this bomb site all alone, and AZ and Cadian left to try and deal with. He's able to win the first fight, and now just Cadian left up, taps on the bomb, tries to draw the peek out from Exist, but he's playing this so well, and no kit on Cadian means that this round's come to a close. Exist gonna find absolutely everyone there, and Fnatic will be reaching match point 15-9. No money left over on the side of North. It's a force by now until the end of this game, which could well be in just 5 kills time.
Fantastic clutch from Exist as well. He's really come into his own on this team as well. We've been seeing him play fantastically this week for Fnatic, so always nice to see. Really, everyone hitting their peak right now on this Swedish side. Gade going quickly into the Pop Dog. Once again, trying to play close and allowing for that fast flank up. It was actually Cadian flanking Ivy, Pop Dog this time, whereas Gade just ran through a connector smoke and got himself a kill for that. So swapping positions. Look at Kiebi in this one as well. He's taking a great spot. Problem is, he's only on a CZ here, so while Kiebi's pushed all the way down Ivy, he can't commit to flanking T-Con too effectively. It would be a bit of a risk, and actually he's gone for it. He's doing so much damage to Twist. Finally going to be silenced, but 90 damage from Kiebi with a pistol. That's going to make it pretty difficult for Twist to get too much done in this round. Luckily enough, his team are still standing around him. They are picking up kills left, right, and center. AZ now all that stands here for North in the middle of the bomb site, caught out in the open. 5 Swedes on the other side, Harry. And this is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, this is a recipe for a W for Fnatic as they pick up this map versus North. They're going to be splitting this series tonight. Here you go, 16-9 here on trade. The Fnatic boys impressing us there. Namely going to be Twist, obviously he's the main talking point, but also, as you pointed out, a great game from Brolin. And we're going to bring back in the analyst to try and break this one down.
Yeah, a much stronger looking show here from Fnatic, and well, with the North not really being able to solidify a second win here, I could say that those implications we continue to talk about will always start to be something to address at this point, Chad.
Yeah, and I think that the casters pointed out a very key point there. They said it was a great game from Brolin and Twist with a lot of impact. These are the 2 newest additions. This is the storyline that we are talking about now with Fnatic, and the fact of the matter was, I highlighted how good of a map this was for the North team. Currently, they were sitting at 9-3 before they went into this matchup. However, Fnatic, they don't care. They were 0-2. They got blown out of the water by Big and Astralis, still stuck with the map, still happy to let it through in Pro League, and going to grab themselves a very big victory here, and Twist with some huge impact. That first half, pivoting around with the AWP on the CT side, he did have some very influential rounds on the T side as well. Yep. So he has to be the hero right now for Fnatic in this one.
Yeah, I mean, even the numbers are going to speak for themselves when it comes to Twist, because this guy's rocking 31 frags, whereas the next closest would be 19 on Brolin. I mean, 109.7 ADR. Chad, can you believe it?
He had a beast of a game, didn't he? And that's in 25 rounds. 31 kills in 25 rounds. Didn't even have to go the full distance. So he's putting up a fantastic showing. And here's the stats from both of these players. As I mentioned, and we'll say it again, the 2 new additions to Fnatic, taking over positions of Flusher and Draken. Draken was removed from the team, put on the bench, and Flusher's gone over to Cloud9.
Well, let's maybe talk about the dynamic that creates within the team, right? We've known that Crims has been a player that can make that impact. He can do the flashy stuff, but maybe not as flashy. You know, he's not always one that's out there boisterously throwing around weapons, but we do know him to be an impact player. Do you think this could turn into a lineup where they're competing for that sort of star role?
Well, let's go back to the recipe for success where these guys really found themselves as one of the top teams in the world, right? We don't have to reflect too far back to think of the lineup with Olof and Crims and that amazing duo. Then you had Flusher and JW, with Pronax as the in-game leader, if you want to interchange that and talk about the time that Dennis was in the roster as well, still very similar formulas for success, right? You had Crims, he was an anchor player, he was a clutch player. Olaf was that very, I guess, hard carry player for this team. He was coming in with massive numbers, with massive impact time and time again. You had JW with his sporadic performances, being able to go hyper-aggressive, make plays on his own. And then they had the likes of Flusher there to be another one of those clutch, more cerebral players, getting those impact rounds, but maybe not felt as much. So Crims is going to stay in his same role, right? He's also shown us since that time a different face. He's been able to play multiple brands of Counter-Strike, just not the passive clutch style. He's been entry fragging, he's been doing it all. So he's evolved. Now I think you have him and Twists as the top two. You bring Brolin in, he's going to settle into a certain role, certain position. We can learn about how he wants to approach the game. I think he's going to be that steady rock player. I think maybe not like I guess as cerebral as a guy like Flusher, but he definitely is going to be a player with a similar impact. JW is going to continue down his path, and that's just where Exist needs to settle in, and he just needs to be just a bomb site anchor, just a run-of-the-mill guy, making sure that he's getting his job done. One frag around's all we need from him.
Make sure that he's directing these fires. Make sure he's controlling these maps the way that he thinks he can use the pieces over on Fnatic. And that will be the storyline that we're going to continue with here. Fnatic and, well, it would be the likes of North splitting maps. And, you know, Chad, for what it's worth, what can we say about North as we look forward?
Well, this was meant to be, I touted this as one of their better maps, so I think they're going to be a bit disappointed that they weren't able to get anything done on that CT side. We saw the double AWPs towards the tail end of that piece coming out from AZ and Cadian. Couldn't find the same level of impact as what they did against Na'Vi earlier in the Pro League. So, you know, maybe that's something that's a little bit more hit and miss, maybe playstyle dependent. They could add a little bit more depth there. And another B-Stream update before we head to that lovely break I know you've got on the tip of your tongue, Trace. Na'Vi defeated Heroic 16-6 on Train. And the next game over there is going to be Wendigo taking on Na'Vi as well.
Well, we do know that Na'Vi like a little bit of overtime, and if stories are held true, and if history shows itself again, it will be Na'Vi that will be pushing that one all the way to all the rounds on all the maps, Chad.
They've had very concise victories tonight, so maybe because they're not on the mainstream, they want to change it up and give those secondary stream guys some quick matches.
Well, we're going to come back at you with some quick matches here relatively shortly. Mouse versus FaZe, squaring off on 2 maps. Make sure you're here with us when we come back for ESL Pro League.